Good morning, everybody. Here we are again with Monday morning update, and I have some scripture for you. Not a lot of announcements, but I have scripture. So we're going to read out of Matthew chapter 7, and I'm going to just read verse 1, and since we have time, I'll probably go all the way to verse 12, and then we'll talk about it. And this is Jesus talking. This is the Sermon on the Mount, part of it. Do not judge, so that you may not be judged. For with the judgment you make, you will be judged, and the measure you give will be the measure you get. Why do you see the speck in your neighbor's eye, but do not notice the log in your own eye? Or how can you say to your neighbor, let me take the speck out of your eye, while the log is still in your own eye? You hypocrite! First take the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your neighbor's eye. Do not give what is holy to dogs, and do not throw your pearls before swine, for they will trample them underfoot and turn and maul you. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened for you. I love that verse. That's verse 7. For everyone who asks receives, and everyone who searches finds, and for everyone who knocks the door will be open. Is there anyone among you who, if your child asks for bread, will give a stone? Or if the child asks for a fish, will give a snake? If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good things to those who ask him? In everything, do to others as you would have them do to you, for this is the law and the prophets. All right. So today it's more like a children's moment than a devotional. And so if you're wondering if this is a little lowbrow, it's because really this is a children's moment today. So last week I was on Facebook, and I noticed one of our church members, who I'm not going to tell you it was Rebecca because that would single her out, but one of our church members posted on Facebook that they had a mac and cheese that had some of the Paw Patrol on it. And of course, Hunter, while I was scrolling through, just happened to see the Paw Patrol on the feed and began to cry out. You know, he's like, hey, I want that. That's mine. And so we were kind of in a pickle because, you know, you go to the grocery store, you may get what you want and you may not get what you want. And so I told him, well, we'll see. Well, today I show up at church, and lo and behold, I have been mac and cheesed. It's an incredible thing. And so I walk in the office, and here, oh, wait, that's Marshall. Oh, yuck. I found Chase is on the case with his mac and cheese right here. I asked, or Hunter asked, and we found. Isn't that awesome? That's how prayer sometimes can work, but in a little bit different way. You see, sometimes we may think we want Chase's mac and cheese, but the honest truth of the matter is that's not what we need. And if you notice in the scripture, as Jesus is going on about this, ask and you shall receive, knock and you shall find, search and it will be given to you. He talks about that in that scripture, but notice he doesn't say, if you search, you'll find exactly what you're looking for. If you knock, you'll know right what's behind the door. And he doesn't say, for everyone who asks for it will get exactly what they wanted. But instead, our good Father will give us exactly what we need. That's where we need to have our faith, and that's where we need to have our confidence. That God, when we ask for mac and cheese, will provide us exactly what we need. Maybe not Chase. He might end up giving us a Marshall, or he may even, in a hard time, give us a Frozen, but it'll all be good because it's all mac and cheese and it's from God, and God knows exactly what we need. That's where we have to have faith, not in our own internal knowledge that we know what's best for us, but in God's knowledge that He knows what is best for us. So we give God our heart, what's on our heart, the desire of our heart, and God gives us the very best answer we can hope for. That's our faith right there. All right, enough duct tape. So if you noticed, we just played something out there in a moment, and that in the devotional that I want to talk about as an announcement as well. The office is seeking that if we're seeing people do acts that are making God's love real, that we share those so that we can do a collage, put a picture together, make an article out of it, that you can see where if someone, like a pastor asked, man, I wish we could have that Chase mac and cheese, and all of a sudden that Chase mac and cheese appears, well then this is hashtag making God's love real right here. And so that's a perfect example of what we're looking for from you. And, again, I shouldn't name names, but a certain church member was handing out flowers just a few weeks ago, and everybody, it seems like, got one. And so how cool is that? And so things like that, if you see things like that, share them with the office. If you can get a picture of it, we'll put it on the picture board down the hallway. If you can't get a picture, just write it out. What was that thing that you saw someone doing that you recognize God's love being made real in that? And so if you can provide us that stuff, awesome. So again, I feel like I have to make this announcement every week, but you guys are doing so good. Just continue to send your offering in via check. We are looking at trying to find an online delivery method, but honestly, checks work awesome. If you can do them, great. And so we're continuing that. Office hours have expanded. I hope you've noticed that. And so if you need Barb or you need to contact the church, just call the office. And Barb knows how to get a hold of me if I'm not here. And so that'll all work well. And you all know my cell phone number. You can call me anytime and get it that way. And then hopefully here in just a couple weeks, we'll be able to gather in the Rose Garden together in a big group and have a great time together. In the sanctuary at some point, maybe just a little later, we'll be able to gather and do that same thing. And so we're excited. We think that we're turning a corner. We know that there's a lot of hard work still ahead, and that there will be setbacks and that there will be problems. But when is that not true any time in our life? And so we always have these moments of setback and let's think about God continues to work us through them. So He'll work us through this. Don't you worry. Have faith. And I think that's all I have today. So I'm looking over here, but I think that's all I have. So God bless y'all real good and have a wonderful day.